Hello, guys, and welcome to the Cultural Catholic, where we try to become more cultured Catholics. No, what kind of intro is that? I need an intro. What the in the world is my intro? I don't think it's any secret that today's dating landscape is just hot garbage. And this isn't really even any better within the Catholic Church, where people presumably aren't hooking up all the time. And I came across this clip by the wonderful Amber Rose, the religious hippie, that explains her experience with very persistent, confident guys who would go and ask her out all the time. And I found this very puzzling because oftentimes it seems that the problem is men not taking the initiative. But what is one to do when taking the initiative is part of the problem? So let's take a look at this help segment to figure out what the problem is and what someone could do to fix the problem if they find themselves in this situation.
Hi, I'm a male in my early 20s with a male friend in his late 20s. We're both Catholic and we are close enough that he talks to me about some personal things and we occasionally hang out alone outside of the Bible study group we meet in. Fair enough. My friend is single and I believe he is concerned about the fact that he is approaching 30 and doesn't have a wife yet. He seems to me to care a little too much about wanting to get married. For example, he's on a dating app, which in and of itself is not weird, but he tends to tell the group whenever he matches with a girl and they message each other even when they haven't been talking for very long. In one of these cases, he had even mentioned that he might be moving to the city where one of these women lived in before they were even out of the talking stage.
Okay, yeah, nah, that's pretty bad. That's not good. I think you should probably at least define the relationship and ask her if things are serious before you start moving. You know, moving is a lot. You want to be locked in before something like that happens. So I agree, that is not good.
They never got past the talking stage. Also, about a year ago, he asked me to go on an adult retreat at the cathedral in a nearby diocese. I agreed. When we were about to go, he asked me, I'm also single, that's in parentheses, if I thought we would meet anyone we could marry at this retreat. I can't remember what specifically the retreat was about, but it was not in any way about the topic of marriage, and relationship status was not relevant to who would be there. Also, from things he has said, it seems like he intends to ask out almost any woman who joins our Bible study group.
Honestly, I feel like that. I don't know about you guys. I would absolutely be the kind of guy to go to a retreat just to meet nice Catholic girls. And I mean, the only reason I started going to Bible studies was because I wanted to meet a nice Catholic girl. So I think I see where this guy is coming from. I think he's doing all the right stuff. He's going to Catholic events to meet Catholic women. So far, that makes sense.
I feel like he cares too much about the idea of marriage, and this leads him to view women in a very possessive way, where he cares more about the idea of a relationship with them more than he cares about actually getting to know who they are. He's a great guy deep down, but I'm worried he's having trouble finding a long-lasting relationship because his head is in the wrong space, and the women he talks to can either notice that or he rushes in and scares them away. I want him to realize this and help him understand, but I'm worried that if I tell him, it will hurt his feelings. Also, I've never been in a relationship myself, so the advice might not be best coming from me. Then again, he does seem to trust me enough to talk about this with me, so I don't know. What would you recommend? Ooh.
Okay, that bit of a long story. I think that my impression is that this guy's doing a lot of things right. First of all, he is taking the initiative, it sounds like, and is asking out women. Second, he's going to where the women are. He's throwing out his net, right? He's keeping his options open. He's on dating apps. He's going to Christian Bible studies. He's trying to meet women, and he seems to be taking the initiative to go out and meet women, talking to them, asking them out. Now, it seems, though, that the religious hippie isn't too happy because maybe he's being too aggressive, too forward. So let's see maybe what she has to say on the matter. But I don't know. I think this guy's doing a lot of stuff right.
That was a roller coaster. I'm gonna be honest. I know exactly what kind of guy you're talking about because these were the exact kind of guys that I would avoid constantly. Before I met Max, I met so many guys like this, and I would just avoid them at all costs. So what I would say is you need to hurt his feelings. I know that sounds blunt, but no, I'm for real. Men need to hold each other accountable. If he's being creepy, if he's being weird, you need to tell him. You have to be...
Okay, hey, whoa. Oh, we don't need to bring out the C word, right? We don't need to bring out the creepy word already. Yeah, golly. Okay, this is a little problematic, I think. So you have this guy, he's very forward with his intentions. He's initiating these relationships. He's going to meet these Catholic women, asking them out. And we're gonna bring in the C word, bringing in the creepy word, right? Is he creepy? Is he a creeper? It doesn't seem like it to me. I don't know. The friend seems to think so. Now, okay, in Amber's defense, the willing to move before going steady with a girl you met online, that's too much. That's too much, right? Everything else, though, everything else seems to be good.
He needs someone to tell him. Otherwise, he's going to continue down this path. And I can't tell you exactly what to say to him because you know him better than I do. And giving specific advice to guys, especially in tricky situations like this, isn't my expertise. I can't tell you word for word what...
Okay, we're going to skip on ahead a little bit because right now she's just saying be upfront with him. If you're going to confront him about this, don't be afraid to hurt his feelings. You got to hold him accountable. All that's good advice for guys. If you're a guy talking to another guy about something, that's the way to do it. I agree. So let's skip ahead a little bit. All right. So now let's jump right back in here. We're going to talk about etiquette, how a man should approach a woman according to a woman. We're going to see what that looks like and how maybe we can get that nice sweet spot between too forward, too aggressive, and then completely passive.
He needs to learn proper etiquette when it comes to speaking with women. To women, he needs to learn proper etiquette when it comes to talking to women in general. This is something that men lack. And oh, you know what? I'm using my phone. Darn. Okay. There was this guy, and I came across this reel that he did, and he basically was talking about how the women in his parish traveled outside of their diocese, outside of their state, to find men because the men were creepy and weird. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. We have a specific term where I come from, but I'm not going to say it because people are going to know what it is, and I'm not about to get into that issue.
Okay. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's going on with these women, why they're running away from these Catholic men trying to pursue them. All I know, I'm sure there are a lot of Catholic women who would say, oh, what's going on? There are these Catholic guys trying to pursue these Catholic women, and the women are running away. Something's going on that's not quite right, okay? There's something about the way these guys are doing it that isn't clicking.
So we have a specific term for this, but the most basic term is Catholic bro dude, where there's like, oh, y'all, like, I drink like, no alcohol and eat bugs for dinner because I'm just like so into suffering, and I take cold ice baths, and, just doing it for the Lord, but like, so ripped. You know what I mean? Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Great. Okay, good. I'm glad that we all agree. So,
Okay, I think I'm getting an idea here. I think maybe the issue might be that these men are coming across as superficial or maybe immature or maybe arrogant, right? That's maybe what it's sounding like. I don't know that many. I think this is definitely maybe more of a traditional circles problem, right? So if you're going into like a TLM or a more traditional young adult parish, this kind of personality might be more prevalent, right? If you're going to just your typical Novus Ordo parish, I mean, first of all, good luck finding men there because there just aren't that many young people, period. But I don't think you're going to find people who are bragging about cold showers. I mean, maybe you will. I don't know.
I think it's interesting because he made that video and he talked about how men are really lacking social skills when it comes to women. How they're so interested in having this shell of Catholicism that they're really lacking the part that is soft, the part that knows how to have a conversation, the part that knows how to be a gentleman, be chivalrous, not bully women. I knew this one guy, and conventionally he was attractive, I would say, not my type, but a lot of women really liked him. And I would see how he would interact with women, and he would just bully them. And there's a difference between like, oh, light teasing and being like cutesy or whatever. No, he would full out.
I feel like this is a different thing. I'm pretty sure this is a different kind of guy. The women who are fleeing their diocese to another diocese are not doing it because they're getting bullied. And I don't think the guy in the original Help Me story was being a bully. I think this is a different kind of guy. Bullies are bad, right? Okay. But I don't think these guys who are just maybe a little awkward fit this bill. I think we're looking at something else for them.
It's very interesting to see how guys do not really have, not all guys, of course. I'm sure there's some of you out there that are great. I mean, Max found me. I mean, there's people out there. But I will say a lot of guys, a majority of men in the Catholic Church do not know how to have a conversation with a woman, and it's a problem. It's a huge problem. They don't know how to act around a woman. They don't know how to be chivalrous. They don't know how to be a gentleman. They don't know how to not be creepy. And I mean, there is a fine line where some women will literally just think anything a guy does is creepy, but there are like things, you know what I mean? Like there are ways you come off as creepy. And unfortunately,
I wish you would just spell it out, okay? I'm just saying it. Men, me included, our emotional intelligence is maybe like a 4-year-old, okay? We don't know what we do that's creepy, okay? We don't understand anything, right? Our emotional intelligence is like squat, okay? We don't get it. This whole, you know what it is that's creepy, these things that they do. It's like, no, we don't know. We need someone to tell us. If I had to guess based on other comments, my guess is that the creepy thing in particular is being too forward. Women approach courting different than men, okay? Men know very quickly if they're interested in pursuing a woman. Women do not work that way, right? Women need time to figure out if this is someone that they're interested in. And I think that it can be difficult when a man knows that he's romantically interested in a woman, pursues her, but then the woman doesn't know the man very well. And so you'll either get two camps, right? You'll get the kind of women that are just kind of open, more adventurous, that just say, sure, I don't know you that well, let's go hang out, see what happens. But most of the time, I think what you get is the kind of woman that goes, ooh, I don't know you. Danger, right? Stranger danger. Okay, let's not do anything. And those are the two kinds of reactions that I think women might have to being approached by someone that they don't know, either the more open reaction or the more cautious reaction. And I think Amber is saying that a lot of these women get put off because their danger senses are being activated by these strange men who they don't know.
You know, you have to work on that, but that is why having good Catholic guy friends is so important for men who aren't all the same and super cliquey and super bro duty and trying to outdo each other in falsism. Like, no, genuine guys who are willing to call each other out on their BS, because then that's how you grow, right? Iron sharpens iron, so saints make saints. And so if you are around people who are calling you out, trying to make you the best version of you can be, and you're willing to look inward and be like, oh yeah, like I'm really struggling in this area, and work on it, then you're doing great. But the issue is that too many guys think that the bro dude type of guy is the kind of guy that women want. No, most women want somebody.
Okay, I will agree there. Men don't know what women want, but women also don't always know what men want. Okay, we usually think that women find attractive the same things that we do. Men think that women like what men like, and women think that men like what women like, if that makes sense. We admire very bold, kind of hyper masculine, aggressive behavior. For example, men go to the gym and we see a super jacked guy and we just like, oh yeah, man, good on you, right? That's awesome. A woman goes and she's like, oh, okay, that's a lot. I don't really know if I want all that. Women and men want different things. We'll see if maybe she explores that a little more.
It's different for everybody, but for a majority of people, I definitely do think that, you know, there is some guys play hard to get, others are too desperate. And I think the difference is when you have guy friends who call you out on it and is like, do better, you know? Because as a woman, I could say like, that's really creepy. Most women probably won't say anything though because they don't want to be rude. But I mean, if you have a guy friend telling you, like, listen to them, you know? So talk to him, have a conversation, but you might be the only thing that's, you know, going to help him get better and actually find a wife one day if he starts changing his behavior.
Okay, unfortunately, that's pretty much the end of the clip. And we found the problem, right? The problem is that this guy came across too desperate, too needy, too forward, too direct. Okay? Now, a lot of the time, guys, we hear we need to be more aggressive. We need to be more forward. But there's an extreme, right? There's an extreme that we need to avoid. Unfortunately, I don't think we got a lot of good advice for how to really thread the needle there. So I'm going to provide a little bit of my thoughts on maybe what that might look like. Ideally, the way to approach a woman is to start with small talk. I think that's the key. It seemed like this guy from the original story wasn't going through the social etiquette of small talk, where you just approach and make a light conversation. Now, I know if you're like me, what you're thinking is, I don't care about small talk. I want to know if this girl's single and if we're going to go out, right? After the small talk, then you can ask her out, okay? I think that's the order of operations, right? You see girl, like girl, go to girl, introduce self to girl. Hello, my name is, what's your name? And then maybe 5 minutes of small talk. And then something like, oh, you know, this was a really pleasant conversation. You're also very attractive. Could I take you out on a date sometime? And that's it. And then you've done it. I don't think it's necessarily going to be that complicated, but I think you just got to have that step of a little bit of small talk, and hopefully that will diminish the aggressiveness of the approach. So if you guys found this helpful, go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe. If you think you have a better way to avoid coming off as too aggressive, leave that down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.